Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to cover theory of moral sentiments. This is one of the easiest theory to understand, and once you will get the concept, you will easily be able to solve all the questions. Very few questions come from this topic, but this is a bonus question for you. If you will know the concept, you will definitely able to answer the questions. So let's begin. Most of the students get confused while answering the questions of theory of moral sentiments, as they eliminate Adam Smith from the option first because they think that Adam Smith is related to this theory. He is only related to economics and given theories of economics. As the theory name says, moral sentiments, it is related to morality. Then how it is possible that Adam Smith is related to this theory? But in reality, this theory is given by him only, and this came in 1759. According to Adam Smith, this theory was given to explore how human beings develop moral judgments based on feeling of empathy or sympathy. Most of our judgments are based on how people perceive us or depend upon what people think about us. So we make judgment based on the fact that how our peer group will accept us or how the society will accept us. According to Adam Smith, morality is not driven from any social innate moral senses, but it is depend upon the humanity's natural sociability, which means that the need for approval from the peers, which means that whenever we make any judgments or whenever we act in a certain way, it depends upon how people will accept us or how what people will think about us. We act in a way so that society will accept us, or we feel that we are not separated from the society and get along with others also. He also argues that how we react doesn't depend upon rational calculation to gain personal advantages, but it is due to the responses are driven by our emotions, the principle of which is our capacity of for empathy, which means as a human being we know we are an emotional being. We have emotions in ourselves. When we see any injured person, we feel that we should help them, and we feel the pain of others. Which means, as a human being, we feel we also feel the pain of others, and also feel fortune or happiness in others' happiness. So, due to these emotions, we react in a certain way that it shows our empathy. So, here he says or argues that our will be the capacity of empathy and a desire for approval from others will drive our moral judgments and actions. But these moral judgments and action due to will not be due to innate moral senses. It will be due to capacity for empathy and desire for approval from others. In this theory, he has given some terms and not given some terms. He has talked about some terms which is related to this theory. And according to him, what he said, we will see in this slide and next slides. First one is self-love. What he said that no doubt every person loves themselves first, and he will care for himself first. For example, when if we are in plane, if something bad happened, then first we will think about ourselves and use the oxygen masks ourselves, because we are human beings, and we first think about ourselves and we take care of ourselves. After that only we can care about others. Here it is written that in every man much more deeply interested in whatever immediately concerns him, means whatever happens, if it will concern to him, first, then he will be deeper interested in that. For example, tax rates change every year. We know if a person is having certain income and the tax rate that have changed has will affect his income, then he will be more interested to know about what is the rate and what will be precautions he has to take, or what tax benefits he can take. But if it will not be concerned for him, then he will not be interested in that much in it. So here is the conclusion that what concerns a person himself is more important for him than what concerns other first, which means that a person thinks about himself first, then after that he will think about others, and this is called self love. Next we will see. So next one is sympathy. What do you mean by sympathy? Sympathy and self-love comes hand in hand because we are human beings and we live with our family, friends and society. We can't be selfish all the time. We can't think about ourselves only. We have to think about others also. It is in the human nature that in fortune of others we feel the pleasure or happiness. It is not that we always think about what we will get, what gives us happiness, but sometimes we think about our family members, friends. We see, if we see them happy, it gives us happiness that they are happy, and it gives us pleasure. So it is in the nature of human that how selfish he may ever be, but in some time, evidently in his nature, we can see that he thinks about others. He thinks about the fortune of others. So sympathy and self-love comes hand in hand in our lives. Next is virtue. What do you mean by virtue? Virtue is a positive quality or a positive characteristic a human being possesses, which means for example honesty. If a person is honest, this is virtue. It is a good quality that he is an honest person. He do his work with he do his work honestly. So here Adam says about two types of virtue: virtue of justice and uh, virtue of justice and virtue of prudence. What does virtue of prudence means? Virtue of prudence means a person who is able to make careful decisions. He is able to judge what is wrong, what is right. What if he will do something? Is it morally correct or is it morally wrong? So prudence is a thing that every person should have in him, because if we don't able to judge what is wrong and what is right, we will do a wrong thing and we will hurt others, or we will be in the danger also. So a wise person is a one who carefully make decisions, and he has a virtue of prudence, we can say. And other one is virtue of justice. Virtue of justice means it is telling about the fairness. We treat person with fairness. We treat person with in a right way, doesn't violate their rights, which in turn gives or promotes happiness among others. But the first one, that is virtue of prudence, what it's do, it restrains us from hurting others, because if we are able to judge what is wrong and what is right, we will not hurt others or will not do any act that will hurt others. So it restrains from hurting others, and other one promotes happiness. So this was the two virtues. One was virtue for justice and other was virtue for prudence. Next. This is one of the important terms of this theory because most of the questions comes from this. Uh, in they give some statements and impartial spectator is in the option and um, you have to select that. So you should know about the concept. What is impartial spectrum? Impartial specter, according to Smith, is in short, we can say that we see our actions through other person's eyes, or scrutinize our actions, if it is morally correct or not, through other person's eye, who is an impartial person or who is a third party, who is not connected to this situation. What he will think, that if I am correct or not. So this is called impartial specter. Here impartial means that third person, who is imaginative person, will not be partial and will be um, neutral. Okay, and specter means that is an imaginative person who will judge our judge our thinking, or you can say judge our act. Okay, is it correct or not? Accordingly the person or the boy will act. Next is self command. What do you mean by this self command? Sometimes we face some situations in which we don't able to control our anger, or we act in a way that we should not act. So the person who has self command, or have firm determination that he will act in a certain way only, and he will not act what is not acceptable. Okay, so we should have, an individual should have control of his emotions and impulses, and act in a certain way which is considered morally correct or morally proper and is socially acceptable. So it is essential that we master our own actions and align with them with the judgment of impartial specter. So here it means that self command help us to control our emotions, and which also reflect in our character, that we remain calm in every situation, we handle the situation well. If we get angry in every situation, then we don't able to or if we don't able to control our emotions, that we will not be able to act in a way we should must act. So to for a long term success prosperity, we should have a self command in ourselves, and should able to control our emotions and act in a certain way. What do you mean by invisible hand? It is a metaphor used by Smith to describe how self-interested actions can lead to social benefits without our intentions or knowing. Which means sometimes we do something for our interest only, but it subsequently uh, benefit others, and it is not our intention to benefit others, but it happens. Which means that sometimes you have seen that for example, a rich person establishes a big factory. That big factory he established for himself, that if I establish a big factory, I will earn more profit, and I will be more rich. I will be richer. But what happens, that he employed 100, 200, 300 employees. So what happens here, that he by not by intent or not by knowingly help other 200 or 300 people who get job in his factory. So unintentionally when we help others, we do something for ourselves, but it subsequently help others, then it is known as invisible hand. Which means that the intentions for which we do something help others. Okay, so this is called invisible hands, which is not seen. You can say that invisible means here it is not seen. We have no intentions, and we don't know that it would help others, but in reality it help, or it help in development of the society, or anything which help others.